Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat, and today I'm doing my October TBR. So there are two big things happening in October. One is that obviously it's Halloween, so I want to read all the spooky books. Two, my due date is November 5th. So mid-October is when I reach full term for my pregnancy. And then after that, anything could happen. It's like the Wild West of pregnancy. So I do have 3 books on here which are comfort reads, where I'm picturing if I'm just so pregnant and done, or so pregnant and I need some comforting, these might be the books that I pick up. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it. So we're gonna start with obviously Halloween first. So I have my eye on Soul Eater by Mayne. I was looking up queer dystopian monster books, which is a very specific niche, I guess. And this came up and is so highly rated. It has a 4.4 on Goodreads out of 1,700 reviews. This is about a dystopian world where monsters have risen, and basically humanity lives on the fringes of the US in military-controlled cities, and then the whole center of the US is known as the wastes, and that's where the monsters are. And there's one monster in particular who shows up every 3 years called Wynn, and he's a soul eater. And our main character is a soldier who's sent in this big platoon to capture Wynn, and actually Wynn destroys everyone in the platoon except for our main character, and things go from there. I'm really intrigued because Wynn is described as having horns and blackened fingertips, and no one has ever seen his face. And I'm like, is he a demon? What's happening? I'm just excited. I'm just excited. I love a good dystopian. Okay, and then after that I have a NetGalley for Slewfoot. I've talked about this a bunch of times, by Brom. So just roughly, an English woman is sent to the colonies. She's married, her husband dies suddenly and abruptly, and she's left on her own, but I think she makes a pact with a powerful spirit who's newly awoken called Slewfoot, and they're going to do dark rituals to get the freedom that they want. So I think it sounds excellent. I've never read Brom before, but I'm very, very excited to read this one. Another NetGalley I have is The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker, and I've been saving this for Halloween because the main character is half British Reaper and half Japanese Shinigami. What? Sorry? Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So she has been collecting souls in the London streets for centuries, and she obeys the harsh hierarchy of the Reapers who despise her. She conceals her emotions and avoids tormentors as best she can, but when she fails to control her Shinigami abilities, she is driven out of London and flees to Japan, where she enters the Japanese underworld to serve the goddess of death. What? Sounds freaking amazing. I can't wait. And then the last NetGalley that I have for October is Comfort Me with Apples by Catherynne M. Valente, which is a short novella about a woman who thought everything was perfect in her life, and then she realizes her husband is being a bit suspicious, and she's gonna find out what he's up to. It has good ratings, and also I read, what is it? The Future is Red? The Past is Red by Catherynne M. Valente earlier this year, and it's one of my favorite dystopians of the year. I love her writing style. She's freaking brilliant, so I'm very excited to read this one. I love a horror thriller is what it's billed as, so sounds great. And then after that, I pulled some from my shelves, which I have a bunch of creepy books on my shelves, but if we're being truly honest, I wanted this list for October to just be the ones that I really, 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 really want to read. So I really want to read Rosemary's Baby by Levin. I know that it's just a creepy story that deals with a baby and neighbors being weird. It's a classic, and also a part of me is just really, really intrigued by reading like books where babies are like the focal point in some way. Like I said, I'm very pregnant, very, very pregnant, and very excited about our baby, but I still like to read like dark books, and yeah, evil children or evil parents, I still do like it. So a very sick part of me is like really wanting to read this like the month before I give birth. So yeah, I want to read this. And then I also really want to get to The Hunger by Alma Katsu. This is like the Oregon Trail with cannibalism, I believe. Some people have really mixed opinions on it. I know friends of mine have either loved it or hated it, depending. And I think it's more of a slow, creepy book, like slow, really slow. And a lot of it is atmospheric, not so much slasher. So I'm really looking forward to this. I wanted to read it for a while, and I thought like, you know, creeping atmosphere is kind of perfect. I must be the most like bizarre pregnant person ever, but yeah, my reading tastes have not changed since getting pregnant. I have the same reading tastes. I just read more pregnancy books now, which are the other flip side of reading, I guess. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one as well. And then the last one that's for Halloween is I have reserved at the library, and I can pick it up soon, is the sequel to The Hunted by Gabriel Bergmoser. So this was a straight up horror slasher adventure story, and I really fucked with this. This was so good. Basically, you are following a grandfather whose granddaughter is staying with him. He lives in a remote outback gas station where it's just the gas station in his house. When a woman drives up in a car, she stumbles out of it. She's been shot and like knifed, and she passes out, and they decide to help her, but then people show up looking for that woman, and the narrative kind of alternates between the grandfather and the woman who fell out of the car. And man, was it good. It was so good. I could not put this book down. And the sequel, The Inheritance, came out like I think a few months ago, and I requested it at the library, and it came in finally, and I'm so ready. So it's not necessarily like spooky, but I know that it's gonna be very slasher and gory and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope that it is as high octane as The Hunted was. So those are all of the Halloween books which I really want to get to, and I'll just show you some others that I had on my shelves that were like honorable mentions. I might pick them up if I so choose, but I am not really holding myself strictly because obviously, like I said, I'm entering the wild west of the final pregnancy time. So if I don't want to read something, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, these are the other books that I have on my shelves, which I may or may not pick up. Vampires, monsters, Japanese horror, etc. All right, now I want to talk about the 3 books that I will probably be reading when I need some comfort. And okay, first up is The Storyteller by Antonia Michaelis, who is a German writer, and this was translated from the German. Duh. This was recommended to me by one of you guys, and then I looked it up at the library and they had it, and it took a while to get here, but now it's here. So apparently this is a super dark romance, and that's really all I need to know. It's just supposed to be dark and haunting, part romance, part mystery, and it has really high ratings. It's rated like a 4 out of 8,500 ratings, which is really impressive. And when I read the synopsis, yes, both characters are kind of effed up, and I love a dark romance. So this might be one that I pick up toward the end of October if I'm feeling like, you know, a whale that needs some romance in their life. And then 2 others. So I have reserved Dark Rise by Pacat at the library, and I didn't realize that she are gender queer, which is awesome. So this romance and then the next romance are both by non-binary authors. So I haven't really wanted to know the synopsis at all. All I know is that it's set in a like fantasy world this time. Ancient world of magic is no more, heroes are dead, and it's a great battle between light and dark. I am so insanely excited for this book because, like I said before, the Cat's writing style is just catnip to me. I love it. Just the readability, like the amount you want to turn the pages so fast. Like I'm basically like whipping them so fast. Yeah, so I have this at the library and I'm the first one to reserve it. So I know that it comes out September 28th. So I'm really hoping that the library will get it and like put the cover on it and then make it available sometime in October. Like, ooh, fingers crossed. And the last one that is on my list is God of Death by Z Shinestorm, who is a Fijian non-binary author who goes by she or he. And this is coming out on October 31st, so right on Halloween, but I already know that I want to get it. It's only going to be like $1.36 on Kindle, and that's Australian, so it's even cheaper for people in America or anywhere else. So as we know, I really do love modern Greek retellings, and specifically Hades Persephone romance retellings are my jam if done correctly, if done like well, specifically if they're queer. So this one, God of Death, is like, what if Hades didn't want Persephone? What if Hades wanted Persephone's brother instead? And I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm in love, and I need to read this book. Because Z Shinestorm, I recently read He Made Me Do It, which was a NetGalley arc, which was not fantasy at all, but I really enjoyed the character building and the sexual tension. And yeah, I was basically like, I'm gonna read whatever they come out with next. And then it's this, a Hades and Persephone retelling, which is queer. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Halloween to me and everyone else. Like, fucking thank you. So I will be buying that on October 31st, and I fully intend to read it immediately. Yeah, so these are all the books that are on my list. Let me know what you're reading for October. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I hope that I can read some spooky things, but if I just need some comfort, I also have some comforting, romancy, favorite author type reads that I could pick up as well. So yeah, I hope that you are all doing very well, and wish me luck, because I'm a little nervous because this is, like I said, the Wild West. So yeah, I will see you guys in another video soon. Lots of love. Bye!